Leave it to me to have a joke first on my sermon, so we'll just sit here for a minute. Okay, all. You're sitting at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and you know, the cousin that you never really trusted is rambling on and on about something you completely disagree with. You look over and your sibling, who is just oblivious to the cousin, is focused on getting the table cleared off as soon as everyone takes their last bite, or maybe even a little before. Stuff needs to get done. Dessert needs to come out. So you look around. Take a deep breath. And what comes to your mind? What do you say? Gosh, I love my family. I think I'll wash their feet. No, really. That will show them how much I love them, and maybe they will follow my example and become the loving family we always wanted to be. And that's why Jesus is Jesus. There have been many a Thanksgiving when I've said, I'll take my dessert in the living room, thanks. But not Jesus. The Gospel of John dedicates 5 chapters to Jesus saying goodbye to his disciples, to his friends. We said last week, in raising Lazarus, Jesus chose to trigger the end of his ministry and to trigger the beginning of his goodbye. I'm going to test the age of the people in the room for a minute. Now, that's not like the world tour, the world goodbye tour of the Eagles did in the 1990s, again in the 2000s, and I think again in the 2010s, right? Their goodbye was longer than the Hotel California on repeat. I don't know why I was full of jokes that I wrote this. No, not Jesus. All 5 chapters are really just one night, the last night that Jesus was with them. The farewell is intimate and filled with love and care. It begins with him sitting at that table, looking around at this unassuming group of followers who had no idea what was about to happen. And our tradition believes that he did know, that he knew everything. He knew that Judas would betray him. He knew that Peter would deny him. And yet he stripped off his robes, knelt down, and washed their feet. Wash the feet of all of them. The one who would betray him and had already started making plans. The one who would deny him, who didn't have a clue he was going to do it. Peter, oh Peter, absolutely certain that his faith was unshakable until he denied Jesus 3 times after the arrest and then heard the rooster crow. That night, Jesus told his disciples what would happen. He comforted them, answered their questions, and listened to Peter yap on and on about how he would never. Jesus told them that they were not students any longer. They were his friends, and that their relationship with God was open and filled with a spirit, a comforter, who would always be present for them. He told them to love each other. He told them that he was the vine planted deeply, and they were the branches commanded to spread God's love. Do as I have done, was his command. So here we are, 2,000 years later, and people are still trying to fulfill the promise. Follow the commandment to love. Be the next generation of disciples. Be the next generation of branches. How are we doing with that? These seem like dark times. Seems like that promise is not shining through. Next week, we walk through our annual ritual of Holy Week. We walk through Jesus' farewell. And I hope you attend those services, Monday, Thursday, Good Friday. We're even kind of starting a little early this Wednesday. I think they are very relevant in our lives today. There are times of mourning. Our mortal life is filled with challenges, fears, times of conflict. Sometimes in this life we feel that there is scarcity, that others will take what we need. We can be afraid of what tomorrow will bring. Holy Week represents all of that in our lives. And to walk in that darkness, to honestly walk in that darkness for a little bit, helps us to see the light, helps us to see the Easter morning. This thing we call church should be a haven, a safe place to stop and consider how we stand in this world. I really don't think there's another institution in our world like our faith communities. We all stand in the suffering and try to heal, try to serve, try to bring people to a life of love and peace. There are other institutions in our world who often feed on the idea of scarcity, that encourage individual protection, fear of others, separation, and isolation. When we act from our fears, we're walking in the darkness. I truly believe that faith communities provide a different lens. A lens that encourages us to see beyond ourselves, to trust in an abundance we don't always see right in front of us, and to have faith in things beyond our own minds. Scary for some of us. And when we look through the lens of faith, abundance, awe, thankfulness, we are encouraged to reach out a hand, a vulnerable hand. We are encouraged to kneel and serve without fear for our own needs. When we trust that love is our guide, then and only then we are walking in the light. I think walking in the light is scary, exposed, taking off our robes, not comfortable. And that is why Jesus is Jesus. I am the light of the world, he said. Come, follow me. And he knelt down and washed their feet. And no matter who we are or where we are on life's journey, we are invited to the dinner with friends. All of us are worthy to have Jesus wash our feet. All of us have an open relationship to the one who loves us dearly, the maker of the stars, the recreator of time and space. Betrayal to one another, denial of suffering and pain, weakness of moral strength, or betrayal of love and trust, it is all forgiven through grace. And we keep trying. We keep reaching out our hands, holding each other. We keep feeling each other's pain and looking for solutions that lift the burden from all. And that's being a disciple. Not perfect, just trying. Keeping our eyes on the abundance of Easter morning. And he loved them fully until the end. Blessings on the journey, my friends. Blessings. Amen.